Here is the topic of the day that's going to roll into the other things. Okay, so I got a good afternoon. I'm a new listener and I have a topic that I would like your advice on. Threesomes. When dating someone. So I've been dating this guy for a while and he brought up the topic to me. He would like to do a threesome. And I said, hold up. How long have you guys been together? Here's where it gets juicy. We've been dating for over 2 years, even lived together for a little bit, but that didn't work out. So he moved out, but we continue to see each other. The only threesome he's asking for is with another male. He would like to watch me with somebody else. And I said, so he doesn't want to be in it whatsoever? And he said, no, he just wants to watch. So let me ask you this. Seems like we got a couple people. Yes. So I can't say that word on TikTok. I'm assuming I can't, but they call it something holding, where your partner basically watches you have intercourse with another person. Usually it's a woman, but I guess this one wants to see a man with his girlfriend. First things first, would you ever be into that? Would that ever be something that you'd be into?
Fuck no. But I mean, I've heard people like, I mean, you said it'd be the other way. I've heard it more this way, which is weird. I know that sounds weird, but I've heard it more this way.
Okay.
Of like the guy wanting to watch or whatever. So, I don't get it per se, but it's fucking, some people like shit. I don't know.
So when you hear this, when you hear another man asking his girlfriend, wife, to be intimate with another male so that he could watch, what would be the reasoning behind that? Is this arousing to some men? Is this, I mean, I'm guessing that's what it is. It's arousing.
I guess so. Like, I don't think there's any underlining thing. Like, it's not so cut and dry to say, oh, he's not that into her, or like, he maybe he is into her, maybe he does like her, but like, there's just weird fetishes out there that are like outside of the realm of like normal spectrum.
Sure.
It doesn't always mean something, like, especially in these cases, like people who love to fucking eat on feet. Like, I don't fucking understand that shit, but there's people out there like to do that stuff. Like, bestiality. I don't get it. Yeah. But there's someone out there that likes that shit. I don't understand it, but so I don't know. Like, I don't know what would drive a man to want to do that, but you know, I'm sure he's got to be maybe a swinger. He's probably not monogamous. He's probably a little bi himself. I mean, probably all of those things, or one of them at least, right?
Or maybe
that would lead to that, right?
Like he's not pleasing his partner, and he would rather watch his partner get pleased. Like, am I thinking too much into that? So we had a comment though. We had a comment that said, "My last partner and I did that a lot. We were together for 5 years, and we loved it. It definitely isn't the reason we split, and it made our life way better in that area." So, okay, this...
But what does that mean, though? Like, why? Why did it make it better? In what form, fashion? Like, how is he getting off because of that? Like, how is he getting off? He's just in the corner, maybe, like, choking it, maybe? I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess. All right. I guess I would assume they're probably jerking, right? While that's happening, maybe?
I would think that if they're watching their partner get pleasure, they're not going to sit there and not pleasure themselves. Like, that would be the reasoning that I would think is behind it. But like, for me,
it's weird. It's weird though, because like you can't even say it's like it's a controlling thing, or it's like a power thing. That's like it's a different spectrum. Honestly, like I don't really have an answer for it, because I can't relate, right? I don't have like a life experience for it. So I don't.
We got a comment in chat. I just want to let you know what it is. It said, in TikTok, it says, "God, he's so freaking hot." So I just wanted to go ahead and give you that one right there.
Who, Skell is?
No,
yeah,
you.
Skell's pretty sexy.
They're talking to you.
Skelly's in the chat right now.
So like, for me, if I was dating somebody and then they had mentioned like wanting to bring a third party in, is that something that I would say no to? I don't know. Probably. I would probably say no to that. But if I was younger and they wanted to bring in a third party, I would probably be, I mean, I have been more open to it, but just to sit there and watch, I don't think I would be okay with that. I don't.
That's called getting a train ran on you. That's not called bringing in a third person.
I mean, what do you want me to do?
I'm just saying, like, I've heard that explanation before. No, that's called a train.
Yeah.
that's funny to me.
Yeah.
No, that's
choo choo.
hilarious.
Let's go. Let's have a good time. When I was in my early 20s, I was doing whatever I wanted. Hell, even in my early 30s, I was doing whatever the hell that I wanted. Like I'm a single woman. I can do what I want to do. But in a relationship, I think it's different. Like I don't think I would be okay with having another person come in and then just having my significant other watch. Would I be okay with, like, I would want it to be like a thing that we're doing together versus you sit there and watch. That would kind of freak me out.
I mean, I don't have the answer as to why a guy would want to do that. I really do not.
And it's just because you can't relate to it is basically why.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, because I can't even like pinpoint like why. I don't even know a guy that does that. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's such a rare thing. But you said I don't even have a friend that does that.
But you said that you have friends that go to glory hole places to like watch other people.
No. He went to, I don't know, they don't call it a glory hole place. There's glory holes there, yes.
Okay.
He didn't participate in the glory hole, and he didn't participate in the spectating, but he was there and he saw people doing that. So like he was like,
so he didn't partake in it. He just saw people doing this. Okay.
They were doing it. It's like, well, he was like, what the fuck are they doing? Now, obviously he partook in something. I mean, he didn't share that with me, but he didn't partake in the theater, I guess. I don't know.
I thought that was called a glory hole. It's not, because you're looking through a hole. Right?
No. He said that them three got a room, and it was a couple, and the guy brought another guy in there, and he was just like hanging off to the side, like in a chair in a fucking corner.
Yeah, no,
that's watching his fucking wife getting railed. Like I don't know, whatever.
I mean, more power to you, but that is a hard no for me.
Yeah, but see, I don't know that guy that did it, right? So, like, I can't ask him. I have no fucking idea why a guy would want that done. I mean, if there's someone in the chat, please speak up. If you like that, tell us why. What is it about it? No judgment. Listen, I don't give a fuck what you do. Like, I mean, but no judgment. But let us know why you do it.
And if you don't want to do it in chat and you just want to send a DM and let us know like why it's pleasurable to you, like let us know, because I can't relate to it. House can't relate to it. And I mean, I honestly don't even know the advice that I would give this person. Like, I don't know if I would tell them like, no, don't do it. And it doesn't even seem like she wants to do it, but she wants to please her spouse, you know? What are you thinking of?
So she wants to please her spouse, and her spouse is wanting that done by another. I mean,
by another man.
Fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like it'd be more normal if it was about bringing in another woman, right? That'd be more normal in terms of like the guy side of it. So I would understand that part.
Correct.
But yeah, I don't. I mean, he has to be like
choking the chicken.
Fence riding. He has to be.
Oh, so you mean that he actually might be into men
a little bit,
and this is his way of seeing that? I could see that. Yeah,
I can't imagine otherwise. Why would I want to see that unless I was into that? Like
on the fence, like you said. Oh, okay, I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Okay. Well, I did. So another thing that I wanted to reach. Let's just roll on that. Then it opens up the whole issue of for TikTok, I can't say this word in chat, so we're just going to call it corn. And I'm pretty sure you all know what I'm talking about when I say that. Do you think that watching corn is cheating?
It's kind of like a two-parter. Like, it just depends on the day for me. Now, if you ask me personally. I guess so. Like if you're seriously exclusive, like for me, for instance, I don't look at this stuff because I look at it in a way of like, if I'm lusting over someone else's body,
okay,
then I should be lusting over one person, in my opinion. Now, anybody could, that doesn't mean I've never looked at it or anything like that, but it goes back to what we talked about before, right? Like when it comes to me and like trust and loyalty, she doesn't have to worry about me having a wandering eye or like people DMing me and stuff like that. That's not a threshold that I'm ever going to like cross. So like,
yeah,
you don't have to worry about it. You can't pull up my shit and be like, oh, look at all these people he follows, or look at all these like likes. You ain't gonna get that out of me because I'm not looking at that stuff. I'm not even dabbling in it. And no judgment to any man that does that shit. No judgment to anybody that if you're in the relationship with that man and you're okay with him looking. I'm not saying it I'm not judging anyone. I'm just telling you from my perspective, because a lot of people would look at me and they'd be like, there's no way he doesn't do that, or no way he doesn't look at that stuff. And, you know, I don't do that, right? So like we talked about, I've said this to chat before, I don't do that. So like there's no reason for me to look at those things, not to mention I don't want to cross that boundary with whoever I'm with, right? I think it's unfair. Like if I'll just give you an example. If I'm with somebody, but man, this fucking chick is hot as a motherfucker. I don't know. There's something about that. Like I'm literally saying that in front of her that I think this girl's hotter than you, or she's making me more bricked up than you, obviously, right? I just think that's kind of fucked. I think
disrespectful is what you're saying.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Like I wouldn't like it the other way around.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was in high school. And the first time I realized something like that bothered me was when my girlfriend was like, oh my God, Justin Timberlake's so fucking hot. And I was like,
going to ask if something had happened that made you think that, because it sounds like something like a bad taste was put in your mouth by someone that you had dated that made you realize like, nah, I'm not going to do that kind of thing.
But it's a normal comment, right? People say that about celebrities all the time, right? I think fucking the girl, I forgot what her name was. I think she's fucking smoking hot. But like to say that in front of me, I was like, you fucking like, I don't know. It made me, it felt like that a little bit, but it wasn't like, I wasn't pissed. I was like, oh man, don't you ever fucking say like it was. I was just like, it made me feel a certain type of way. And I was like, oh, okay, that's probably why I don't like that. I think that's kind of odd. So like, therefore I don't do that in return, right? I would never be like, oh, that fucking girl's smoking. Like, damn, she looks good. Like in front of whoever I'm with. I think that's lame. I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of refreshing to hear your viewpoint on that, because I think a lot of girls have adapted to even complimenting other women in front of their spouse because they want to like kind of have control of the situation. So if you see somebody attractive, you go, oh my God, that chick's really hot. And then the guy goes, yeah, she is really hot. You're like, yeah, I'm the one who said it. I'm the one who started it. So I don't feel as bad about it. You know what I mean? Versus catching him staring at it. I think that's why a lot of women have changed that mentality, because they don't want to feel like slighted by it. Like for me personally, I don't think that watching porn is cheating at all. I don't. I think that people are very like animalistic in their urges and their desires, and there's times when you're just looking for that release that you don't want to do with your partner because you're either tired and you're alone or whatever it is. So I don't look at it as something that's devaluing my relationship with my partner. However, if my partner was to subscribe to something one-on-one, whether it be like a subscription-based platform, webcam, whatever it is, that would make me feel like it was cheating, because now you're going out of your way to pay for something to have one-on-one contact. Then that would be cheating to me.
So if they're financially supporting it or endorsing in it, then you feel like it's crossed the line. But why though? So just the institution of money.
One-on-one. Because now you're having one-on-one. So if you're...
But what if I'm doing one-on-one and there's no money involved, but it's just pornography?
So
whatever.
Yeah. So no, you're good. So I know pornography. So to me, like porn, I just did it too. Porn is like, it's free. So like you could get it anywhere for free. So you don't have to pay for it. So if you're paying for it, it's usually because you're paying for a more like if you go to a club where they're dancing on you, you're paying for that service. You know what I mean? Where like, see, and it's kind of black and white for me there. Like, would I be okay with my significant other going to a club? I don't know how I would feel about that. Like having another person like dance all over you and you're paying for that. Like I don't know if I would be okay with that.
What about not paying for it?
I don't know if I'd be okay with them going to a club in general, like that type of club.
So I definitely want to get back to that one because I think that's an important conversation too. But let's go back to this other thing.
Okay.
The institution, like you guys know that there's women out there that don't give a fuck, right? They don't give a fuck if the guy's married together. If I allowed ladies to right now, they would willingly do those things regardless if there is money involved. So now, but again, it's still visual, right?
Yeah.
Even though I'm not doing it, it's still corn.
I see what you're saying.
But no money.
I see what you're saying.
How's it different?
I see, because you're saying that you're in a situation where someone would throw themselves at you regardless of it because they look at you as someone to like, because you put yourself, I'm not saying that you're putting yourself forward to be like desired, but women do come in your streams and they like,
no,
is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying me personally. I'm saying men and women in general will do that. They don't give a fuck. So
you are right. You are right.
They have, will, and do. I mean, they can, like, if I wanted to, right? I'm not saying like I'm some kind of like, I'm just saying in the past that's happened, but like somewhere, some man has that fucking control.
You know, I'm very territorial when I'm in a relationship, like very much like the analogy of like a dog like marks its territory and like, this is my tree, like this is my only tree. So I'm that way in a relationship. I'm not saying like I mark my territory on the guy that I'm dating, but I'm very territorial. So like if I feel like an inkling where somebody is trying to approach them in an inappropriate way whatsoever, I'm like interjecting myself and I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So if I found out that my significant other was receiving photos from somebody unsolicited or whatever, I'm telling you right now.
Unsolicited on the internet. You just said you were okay with it though.
But no, because women don't just, okay, if they go into like an adult chat room.
They don't just send them? They do.
No, they don't. No, where is this? Is this true? Is this true?
Are you kidding me? What do you mean they don't just send them?
You're telling me that a man can go to a corn website and that person starring in that video is going to send him pictures. That's what you're telling me?
That person will, no, I'm not saying that, but isn't that the same thing? They send it to the internet. It's for anybody and everything to fucking pick up. What's the difference? What's the difference if it's out there for me to receive or I receive it in my DM? It's the same picture. Let's say the same picture, the same sack of melons. It's the same picture on the internet or given right to me. What's the difference?
I see your logic behind that. I do. I think in my mind, I've separated the two. So like when I'm watching corn, because, I watch it also. When I'm watching it, it's usually just for that visual so that I can do maybe like I just don't want to think about like have my imagination. I want a visual. And then that's done. And I close God willing, I remember to close the browser because that's happened before where I didn't remember to close the browser and then open it up in a public setting. That was embarrassing. And like, that's it. I don't reach out to anybody or get any photos, but I haven't been in position where people have sent me unsolicited things where they will just send me the photos without me even flirting with them or talking with them whatsoever. And in that instance, I would tell my significant other, hey, so-and-so just sent me a photo of themselves. Like, I didn't know they were sending that. You could look at the conversation that we were having. Nothing was untoward. I'll block them if you want me to. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? But like, I'm not out there asking for these photos to be sent to me. And I would hope that my significant other wouldn't be asking for those photos either. And
right. Let's assume he's not though, but
Then communicate with me. Hey, this person sent me these photos.
So it only matters that if it's in reaching distance for you, right? So
yes.
like if it's a celebrity, that's probably not going to happen. Let him fantasize all he wants to. But if that celebrity is sending them directly to him, now you got a problem.
Yes.
Now that doesn't sound very sane at all.
Maybe it's not a sane thing to talk about, but it's also, I'm also being like a realist in it too. And I'm not going to, like, most men are not like you. Most men don't turn that off and say, I'll never look at that again. That's not something I'm interested in. Most men are into that. And
so I guess my question would be, no, I agree with you. So knowing that, then why wouldn't your line be, don't do this?
How many times has a woman told a man not to do something and then they continue to do it?
Do this. I'm just saying, or I don't know.
When we put a hard line on things, this is what happens. When we tell men, no, I think that's cheating. You shouldn't watch porn. Like, that's cheating. And they go, fine, I'll never do it again. Like, I won't do it again. And then a man does it and you catch him and then he lies. Now you're dealing with somebody who's lying because they couldn't honestly tell you, I have an addiction or I like it. And instead of communicating those things, now they're just lying about it. So when you catch them in that lie, now you're thinking, what else are they lying about? So I think in a lot of women, a lot of modern women, we tend to make ourselves okay with these situations because we don't want to be lied to. And so we convince ourselves that we are okay with it. That is the logical thing that I'm telling you here. There are a lot of things in life, in dating, that I have convinced myself that I am okay with because I'm tired of being disappointed.
If you give me a drug, right, normal person, you give a normal person a drug, what's the likelihood that they might get hooked on that drug? You think? Just
50%.
50-50 chance that I get hooked on that drug. And then I take the drug, I like the drug. I'm hooked. So I'm on the other part of the 50%. Now I'm hooked. Now I need more of that drug. Then it becomes a problem. Mm-hmm. Is porn not looked at the same way? So like if I have access to these fantasies, right? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't I find more ways to either sustain a fantasy or like what if something comes across? I see these things that I could like, oh man, like that would be really cool. And then something comes across my lap one day and there's like a sliver of an opportunity to maybe make one of these dreams come true. Don't you think that, like, I don't know, being exposed to it gives you a worse situation to potentially have to deal with in the future? Or do you think allowing man to have access to like a little bit of that corn that'll keep them at bay and keep them keep them
satisfied,
loyal, trustworthy? I would start to think about the latter.
Well, it looks like the consensus with you is a lot of women think that it is cheating. A lot of women think that if somebody is fantasizing about another woman or man or whatever it is and not communicating that with their spouse, that is cheating. And then I just explained to you in the reality of things that hurt me in my relationship, is that something that I'm going to be upset about over like other things? No. Do I like it? No. But have I convinced myself that I'm okay with it? Yes. Because in the battle of fighting for what I want, that's to me on the lower totem pole. But like you just said, I can see it becoming an issue further on. So to me, I think when I was younger, I really enjoyed it more because you really don't know what you like. You really don't know what you like intimacy-wise. So when you're watching these things and you find out that you're getting aroused to them, you're like, oh, I want to try that. Like, that's interesting. Where now I'm a woman in my 30s. I know what I like. I know what I'm into and I know what I'm not into. And so whenever I'm watching something, I know exactly what I'm searching because I know what's going to get me off. But I totally do agree with you. I can see how it could be a gateway into a whole other issue.
Yeah. I think ultimately, if you're not satisfying your partner, or you're not taking care of him or her, however you want to define that. If you're not satisfying your partner, you're already in trouble. And if you're not satisfying your partner and you're substituting it with something else, then you're definitely still in a lot of trouble. That's just the way I see it. You don't want to have a problem with pornography or like him stepping out, then you better be satisfying your partner, period.
Yeah. So let me share a story that somebody had told me. So I'm going to change the scenario a little bit because this story was told to me in confidence. There was a situation where a husband and wife are married, and they had this issue with porn being a problem in their relationship. So she had asked her spouse to please stop watching porn. It was becoming too much. Like instead of being intimate instead of being intimate with her, that's what he was doing, is just watching porn. So for whatever reason, they had cameras in private areas. For whatever reason, they had this. So she had left to go to work or whatever, and she tried to call her spouse, and he didn't answer. So she pulled up the cameras and saw him watching porn. And it was obvious that what he was doing, that he was watching porn, until she noticed that he was like in a position that normally wouldn't be a position. And that's when she saw that not only was he watching porn, he was watching a specific kind of porn that he was using her instruments on himself. I'm sure you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So it kind of like couples into like what you're saying is if somebody is into something and is not communicating that with their spouse, like, hey, I'm into penetration or whatever it is, and doesn't communicate that and starts only watching that type of porn and then is now using his wife's instruments for these things. Oh my God, I would freak out. And there you go. Like the person is just in this relationship and is not communicating with their spouse that they might, in fact, be into the opposite sex. And maybe it's not even that. Maybe they're not even into the opposite sex. They're just into the penetration aspect of it. But they're not communicating with their spouse that they're into these things. And there he goes in the relationship, unfulfilled. He's just unfulfilled the whole entire time.
Or he's communicated it and she's not satisfying the situation, whatever the case. The bottom line is she opened the door, allowed this thing to come into the relationship. And it goes back to what I just said, 50-50 chance that I get hooked on it. And then after that, I get addicted or it becomes a problem. And then I need something else to like substitute whatever urges or needs that I have. And now you created a monster. So, but I mean, she did it though. She or he, both of them, whatever. And now you got that situation that you got. So that's why I just choose to stay away from it.
To avoid like the temptation of it or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You dangle a carrot in front of a donkey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't. You know, like you fucking, again, it's temptation, right? You just dangling temptation. And sooner or later, when they catch you at your weakest moment,
literally,
that's when you fucking do something that you're going to regret or you shouldn't have done or whatever. That's how people cheat. So
what do you think in that situation? Let's just say, like, put yourself in a woman's shoes for a second, okay? You're married to a man and you have this issue and you walk in and you find them in this questionable position using your adult toys for penetration. What would you do in that situation? Would you would you yell?
If I'm her, she's got to find out if that bothers her. If it bothers her, then she's got to go. But some people fucking don't care. Some people might be into that shit. But I'm going to assume this. I'm going to assume that he has probably said something about it, and she's probably not willing to step outside of the box
and try something new. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, because I'm sure there's men out there that kind of hide in secrecy and maybe too embarrassed to talk about certain stuff. But I would say most men that get comfortable in their relationship, that they've at some point said, "Hey, let's when you gonna let me do this?"
Yeah.
I can't remember how many times I've said that. Hey, when you gonna let me do this? I mean, I'm 3 days in a relationship. God. Hey, can I do this? I'm already asking. Trust me. I don't know many men that don't get comfortable enough at some point that they ask everything that they want to do.
that makes me kind of sad because there's such like a world of like pleasure that can be had if you just communicated to your partner, and you never know what they're into. Like you never know if it's something that they're curious about and that they want to try.
In my experience, more women are not willing to step out of the box. In my experience, I'm just saying, not all of them, but more women than men.
So I've been in the locker room or the lunches with women. Okay. There's a whole section of smut romance novels that we listen to that are or read that are raunchy and dirty and like really, really graphic on when it comes to like pleasure. So I can tell you there are plenty of women that have these desires that they want to do, but their husbands or significant others are not willing to do it. So I can tell you it's flipped too.
Well, so like, no, I'll give you a good example. K-pop just said, I'll try anything within reason once. See, that all women say that. So like that once K-pop was with your first boyfriend. Well, now this other guy's your 10th boyfriend. And for him, it would be the first time. But because you've only going to try it one time and you've decided that you don't like it, now he doesn't get to try it. You get what I'm saying? That's how the problem comes out. But what she just said there is what I hear the most right there. Oh, I've done that before. I'm never doing that again. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, because I have said something along those lines too, that there's something that is a hard no for me.
You said it the other day. My God. You fucking said it the other day. Don't listen to her. She's just like him.
Hold on.
You just fucking said that the other day. Yeah, so all you.
I did.
When I'm in a brand new relationship, it's clean slate. Everything's brand new again. It's a new rap sheet. We're gonna check all these boxes till I do all these things. You get what I'm saying? But for you girls, it's I know I don't like this. This is a hard no. That's a fucking turnoff for most men.
So hold on, I do agree with you.
She just fucking admitted it.
I do agree with you, and I did say that. However, I was. Oh my God, I'm right. I was talking to somebody, and I had mentioned like something being a hard no for me, and they mentioned that it was like something that they would like, and so I did have that moment where I'm like, could I try this again? Would I try this again? And I thought like I would try it again for this person, and it could just be that I had a bad experience with the person it was a really bad experience, but I would be willing to try it again. So I see what you're saying, a clean slate when you're with somebody new. But there are things. I'm just
glad you proved my point, though. That's
I
good.
did prove your point. You're welcome. You're welcome. Stay tuned. Follow HausOfG for that TikTok that's going to be coming out because you know it's going to. But I mean, I just think that if you don't communicate with your significant other the things that you want, and women too, like we correlate so much with like romance, but women want passion too. They truly do want something that's passionate. And what does passion lead to? Like raunchy and dirty and aggressive and throw me around and all those things. So I think there's a different key to open that up, and men are just not willing to do that. Like they just think that they can just go to Pound Town right away and not realize that they have to go to, they have to go to the waterfall, swim in the waterfall. In the beginning though, like no, in general, like if you want your spouse to do something like fun and interesting, like let's just say that you want to do something that's a different entry point and your wife is like, no, I am not into that. I'm not doing that. Hard pass. I guarantee you, your wife will try it. She will give it a go if you like schmooze her and like approach it a different way. Because once we're turned on, we'll go. We'll do whatever you want. But we have to like be enticed. We have to be intrigued to be in there. Not just hey, you want to go down there? And blah, blah, blah. Like we want to be like passionate about it. Occur, yes, like all that, yes, like thank you. That's what everybody's saying.
No,
facts, exactly, no. Facts, thank you.
No, you guys, listen, this is what you say.
Oh
but
my God.
When it comes down to brass tacks, when it comes time to do these things, you guys don't want to fucking do it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You really don't. You don't want to spend all that time doing it, especially if you got kids. You fucking, oh, I'm tired. I worked all day. Oh, I got to clean the house. Oh, I'm stressed out. Oh, we got kids. There's no time. There's no time for that stuff. And you guys definitely don't want to devote the time. Like you don't. So don't act like you guys. Yeah, I'm dead ass.
No, I'm sorry. No,
dead
no,
ass.
I don't lump me up in that category. So. I'm telling you, I've had conversations with my girlfriends that are like, God, I wish he would just throw me across the fucking counter and like just take me from the back. Like, I've had conversations with women that want this passionate type of intimacy with their spouse. God, I wish he would just grab my hair and force me down. Like, I've had these conversations with my close friends that want that type of intimacy.
We would do that every fucking time, but you guys, that you just talk about it. You don't fucking actually do it because when it comes time to do this stuff, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm on my period. Oh, you didn't shave your face. Oh my God, like it's too hot. Yeah, like you got every time. It's every fucking time you guys got some kind of excuse. Yeah.
You know why? Because you probably didn't help her at all throughout the day. You probably were not.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's probably what it is.
Chores has nothing to do with just saying, passionate sex.
I'm saying that it's considered foreplay. It's the same thing. Like, women have to be warmed up to these things. So if you come in the house and you throw your shit on the floor, what's for dinner, babe?
Oh my
and then
God.
like you like are it's all connected in our minds.
No, you see what I'm saying? Like, so she just admitted it. Did y'all just saw that, right?
What did I admit?
Oh, she's not gonna be into it because so-and-so came home.
I'll be into it no matter what.
Was acting, or women, whoever then. You're talking about women. Oh, because he came in and he didn't act right when he came through the door. You get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have anything to do with that. My cleanliness or me leaving my stuff on the floor has nothing to do with the act of passion.
No, that's not what I said. What I'm saying, no. You said that women will make the excuse of, I'm tired. And women usually say that. So with women, when we want to be intimate, like, we like 100% have to be enticed for it. It's not something, not me, I'm different, I'm a different breed, but like women have to be like excited for it and want to do it, and we usually get that way mentally. So if a guy is being like, the foreplay is on, or like come home and is being sweet, hi babe, I missed you all day, give you kisses, you're like, okay, like he's being sweet, he's being nice. Those are the things that make us women want to do things for you. When you're nice to us and you're sweet, oh my God, honey, the house is clean today. Thank you so much for cleaning. Simple words of affirmation. It makes us want to do this for you.
I love this conversation because it works the other way too, Trish, and all the fucking ladies in this chat. I see you. So Native Wolf says support and comfort comes from all day, not just in the moment. What about you guys? You want the fucking lawn mowed? You want your fucking car washed? You want the house clean? How about you guys be nice to us? Huh? How many times did your man come home with no fucking dinner made, or you not having a fucking attitude with him when he walked through the door? It's the same thing. It's not a one-way street.
Never said it was.
You don't get warmed up only. You guys do the same shit.
That sounds soft to me. No, I'm just kidding. No,
it's fucking facts. Straight facts.
So you're saying,
same stuff.
You're saying that women should do those things for men too. Be soft and nice.
You're talking about being nice. Yeah, you were talking about, we've had so many conversations in this podcast about how women just have a fucking attitude for no fucking reason, and how we're just supposed to, I gotta sacrifice my patience I gotta show more patience because she's in a mood and all this, and I got a happy wife, happy life. Man, fuck that shit. So like, you guys are literally telling me that the guys have to bend over backwards to keep peace and harmony in the house. On top of that, to get passionate sex. Fuck that.
No, I'm not saying that.
Fuck that.
No, I wasn't saying that it was
you
just.
are.
I wasn't saying that it was just a woman's job. I was saying. No, I wasn't saying that it was just like a man's job to do that for a woman. I was in this instance describing how if a man would like to entice their women to do these things, that if they were a little more considerate in these different aspects, that you would get that result. In no way was I saying that a woman shouldn't be a bitch to her, like should be a bitch to her husband or not be appreciative for how hard he works. I wasn't saying that. So two different spectrums. I do agree with you
that's a normal situation though. That happens more than very seldomly. You can ask any man in here. That's why we have these TikToks that I've made about like, why men don't want to talk to women, their wives, because of this, and this. These are true things. So we're talking about it day in and day out. Women are more emotionally charged on every little thing that happens, and that plays out in the household. So why would we want to bend over backwards for you guys just to be able to engage in this thing that we feel like we should get on a regular basis, when most of the time it's like that from you guys?
I don't know if I really agree with that. I agree that when two people are happy and and they're being considerate of each person, that intimacy is something that happens naturally.
No doubt.
When things are not being done on both parties, resentment is built on either side, and then what do people do? They hold sex as hostage, and they hold it as the reasoning to away from their partner to not be intimate. No, I'm mad at him tonight. I'm not sleeping with him. I'm upset. Or the husband, no, you're being a bitch today. I'm not touching you. I think both men and women do that. Do women do that more than men? Yes, they do. But because we've already proven that men will fuck a glory hole. So it is both, but women do it more. You're talking about two different things, though. I'm saying that if you want a woman to open up more and be more adventurous and try new things, they want to try these new things. They just need to be they want to be brought there through passion. You're talking about being considered and women being appreciative of what the men are doing and showing those things in a different way by nurturing you and feeding you. It's two different things, logical things, two right things, but different. One is for sex, one is for appreciation.
No, so same deal. Men want to do stuff all the time. They would try out new things all the time. So that would come, and we want to have sex way more than you guys on average. Overall, that is a fact. So the one that pulls back the most is always the lady in the relationship. So again, we want to try all these things. Most of the time women are like, nah, I don't want to do it. You say you're an exception to the rule, but I've already pointed out many ladies in the chat with many examples that we've already said, and including you, that have already said that's a hard no for you, even in the new relationships. So again, we're already bringing up all these obstacles that a man has to traverse just to get there.
But my hard no was also your hard no. You said no.
No, I'm just, okay.
It was a hard no for you too.
But a man, you're talking about for a man, what would be a, not a heterosexual thing. That's a different thing though. Reverse that. I don't think that's a non-heterosexual thing for a woman, is it? I
don't know. I have no idea.
So I mean, that's different.
To me, it's just the taboo of it, which I've already told you I feel is taboo of it. And I honestly do understand your point that you're making, and I do agree with you. I just think that they're two different things.
Look at Mel's comment right here.
If William rolled out the red carpet for me, I'm still having dead nose on some shit.
So again, here we are. We're talking about relationships that endure time and duration, right? Passion gets lost, whatever.
Yeah.
So, we say these things about the man, and I would say a lot of situations where the man has probably, because we want to do it all the fucking time. So we'll do whatever we can to get it in some cases until it gets fucking annoying.
Sure.
That'll get fucking annoying because we got to do all this stuff. We have to endure all the emotions, whatever, just to get to this, or do all that and still be told no. just like what Mel said, and this happens a lot. This don't happen on the man side. This always happens. Every man in here has probably got a story where that has happened. So it's not so cut and dry like you explained it to be.
Would you consider foreplay a sexual act?
Yeah.
And yet there are a lot of men that don't do foreplay?
Okay, but see, here's the thing. So I would just use myself an example. Not my current relationship. I've had many relationships. Mm-hmm. Like I said before, with duration, passion dies away, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you with someone for 10 years, you've probably had a lot of sex, right? Mm-hmm. I would still do all these things to get to the end point. Absolutely. But would they? No. I'm not so sure that it always ended up being, turned into a smash and grab. So like this thing that you guys say you hate, in some cases, in a lot of like, not even my relationships, but even my friends, mm-hmm. it turns into smash and grab. So like, because that's all like the ladies want to endure, like fucking get it over with. How many times have we heard that, man? Get it over with. So now it's a smash and grab thing. So at first we don't want to do it. So then we just say, fuck it, get it over with. And then now we complain about, now we ain't doing no foreplay. You're not doing anything passionate. I fucking tried to do it. You say no to that, you say no to this, and you say no to that. Is that not facts?
I would say that there are certain situations where that is correct. Like if you're a new parent and you have kids and you don't have time, it's harder to take the time out to do those things. And that's why, like I mentioned to you, the whole edging aspect. Edging is something that's done like throughout the day and then during like climax. But if you start foreplay early on, there are other ways that you can do it. So like men can get excited by a gust of wind at the right time. Women are not like that. And it is biologically hard for a woman to just see a penis and go, oh God, my mouth is watering. When we say that, that's just for you. That's not for us, because it's not true. It takes a while for us to get to the point to even like be there, because it's a biological thing. And same thing for if you're trying to get your woman to get to the point of climax, it takes a lot more effort because of the foreplay. Like if you use foreplay, it gets us more excited and more in the mood, and the chances of that happening are higher. So why wouldn't men want to start that if they know that if they know that they are not going to have time later? They know that they're not going to have time later because they have kids, they're going to be tired, whatever it is. Why wouldn't they plant that bug earlier in the day? Why wouldn't they like, honey, you looked really sexy today, and oh my God, I can't wait to come home and kiss you. And then,
but that's what I'm saying though. Like we don't care about the circumstance. It's you guys that care about the circumstances. You guys are the ones that care about the kids. Like we'll put the kid in there and put on a fucking TV, and then we'll do whatever the fuck you want to do. Sure, but you guys don't want to do that. Look, you just said it. You just said it right there in the coding. So let me decode what you said.
Sure.
We're so far off from it biologically, we can't just turn it on like that. That's how far off of it you are when the idea comes up.
Correct.
That's why it's quickly to a no, because you're not interested in it more so than the man. Like I know we want to blame the man in these situations, but I got to tell you, in most of these cases, it's not the man's fault. I'm gonna stand on that hill.
I'm not blaming the man. I'm not blaming the man at all.
100%. I'm gonna stand on that hill. It's the woman's own doing in a lot of situations, not all, but a lot of situations. Sometimes I'm excluding the men that just can't get it done. Okay. Yeah. I'm excluding those guys. Not talking about those guys. I'm talking about just the desire or the want to. And then I've seen that excuse recycled so many times by women. It's like, you don't want to do anything. Like, no. It's you. You don't want to fucking do anything. Like, you don't want to put the time in. You're never in the mood. Just like you just said, it's always the man in the mood. The man that's got to get you guys there. Like that doesn't. Like that's not.
Okay, well, I'm talking about women in general. I'm talking about most women in general. There are women that go through different stages in their life, whether they're going through like menopause or different age, where like that's all that women can think of too. Women have different stages, but majority of the time, women. So I'll tell you this scenario. I have she's no longer like, I wouldn't classify her as a friend now, but it's someone that I knew. Married for a very long time. Her spouse was a very, very sexual in nature, like always wanted to be intimate. And I know these things because I was friends with both of them. So he would tell me stories of wanting to be intimate with his wife, and then she would tell me stories of all he wants is sex. And so I felt like very much in the middle of their relationship because they would both share their stresses with me. Well, she just was not intimate at all. And he told me, like, she just lays there. Like, she doesn't do anything. She's a starfish, you know? Well, there was a period in time where he was feeling some type of way. So he looked in her phone and saw that she had a ton of videos and photos of herself in lingerie in certain positions, all things that were never sent to him. So she was obviously taking these photos for somebody else and sending them to somebody else. So when he questioned her about it, she admitted that she was having like an emotional affair with somebody that they had not been intimate with each other, but that they had exchanged photos with each other. And I asked her, I said, I'm so confused because you complain to me all the time that he wants to be intimate with you, that he desires you, and you don't want that. Like, that's all he wants from you, and that's all you complain about. Is he only wants me for sex. It's all these things. But then here you are with these photos, and you're sending them to another man. I asked her, why? And she said, you know, he just doesn't appreciate me, and he's always nagging me, and it's just, I know he desires me, but he doesn't help me with the kids. He doesn't help me with the pickups and the drop-offs. I'm always doing the dinner. I work full time, and he's just always nagging me about what I don't do rather than what I do. And so she weaponized sex. She refused to give it to him, and instead started having an extramarital affair. And she was okay with it. She was okay with her decision, and they are still together till this day. They're still together till this day.
Wow.
And they're still having the same exact problems to this day where they have no intimacy whatsoever. And I'm to the point now where I'm like, stop telling me, because you guys are just not gonna fix the problem. And I think they're about to celebrate like their 15th wedding anniversary. Yeah.
It's a fake relationship, man, for sure.
It is. And he has told me, he's like, God, I wish so much would change if she would just give me a blowjob. And I'm like, no, it wouldn't. You guys are so far gone. You're so far gone. There's nothing. She could change right now and be the most sexually active person ever, and it wouldn't change anything. You would be exactly the same.
Yeah, she's definitely not into him. That's for sure. She's making excuses to you about these things. Is like one excuse that you didn't buy one excuse, so then she just gave you a fucking another one. She's full of shit. I'm sorry. No offense.
No, I don't talk to her anymore, and because that's just something that I don't condone. Like, I feel like you're a product of who you associate with, and if you, I know that you had said that if one of your friends was like cheating, I asked you, would you feel loyalty to talk to the other woman, like tell the spouse, like, hey, your man's cheating? And you said that you would tell your friend, like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, but you would never tell the girl because your loyalty is to your friend. I would say I'm very much the same way, but I take it a step further. If I was friends with somebody who was openly having an affair, I would not be okay with that, and I would just stop associating with that person, because I think you're a reflection of your friends. So that would be a hard no for me, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to that to an extent. My friends, they do some of my friends have definitely been guilty of doing some fucking unhonorable things in their marriage, but you know, they're definitely still my friends, but I definitely don't condone or replicate what they do, for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely understand what you're saying. Yeah. What was that other thing in the beginning that I said I wanted to circle back to? What were you talking about? There's something about the movies.
No, it wasn't about, we were talking about the movies, and then we talked about, clubs, going to clubs.
Going to clubs. Yeah. So what's our standpoint on that?
So when we're talking about clubs, we're obviously talking about the adult clubs. That's what we're talking about.
No. Okay. All right. I think adult clubs fall into like what we're talking about with the.
You're talking about like just a regular dance club.
Let's talk about regular dance clubs. going out with his friends or her going out with her friends?
God, I haven't been to a club in a minute.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
It is.
Why? Like, they're just going to go dancing.
With who?
Their girlfriends.
Their girlfriends. So is your guy allowed to go to the club and dance?
Listen, I would hope that whoever I choose to be with is respectful and would not do anything inappropriate. So yes, go. But
dancing on women?
Yeah. No, I'm not okay with it. I don't know why I just said that out loud.
Yeah, why the fuck are you?
So most of the guys don't like go with the purpose of dancing. They'll go with their guy friends because they're going to be like a wingman. Like, I want to hook up with a girl or meet a girl, so they're going with their friend to be a good wingman. They're going to stand by the bar. They're going to drink, like whatever. They're not going with the purpose of dancing. So I think I would say that along the lines, if they go into a club, like, why are you going? Oh, let's just say, Bob wants to go meet this chick. I'm just going to go hang out with Bob, and I'm going to say,
right.
Are you going to dance with anybody? And they're like, no, I'm just going to go hang out with Bob. Well, then if I find out that he was bumping and grinding with a girl, am I going to be pissed? Fuck yeah, I'm going to be pissed.
But why do they need to go hang out at the club? Why can't they go hang out at the bar? Or
So I'm a single woman in my 30s, okay? A lot of my friends, I would say 80% of my friends are married and with children. And I would say all of them would go to the club with me if I chose to go to the club as a single woman, to be like, yeah, we're going to go with Trish. Let's go hang out with Trish. Now, can I see them also dancing with men on the floor? Yes, I have seen that. I've seen.
I mean, what is?
That's not my relationship. That's not my relationship. I'm talking about me. They're going out there for me. You know what I mean? But like, would that be considered cheating, especially the way people dance? Yes. Yes, it would.
But you just said your man can go to the club and dance.
If he was going to be a wingman, I would not be okay with him dancing with some fucking sloot.
Do you know what it takes for a man to be a good wingman?
What?
Like, so you would let your man be so like, for instance, if I was a wingman for one of my boys, like I would have to be charming, very charismatic. I'd be the one approaching the women, talking to them, essentially leading them on, right? Because I'm trying to get their guard down, have a conversation with us, be into the vibe.
Yeah.
You don't think that's a problem too, or no?
I don't know. To me, okay. So like, if you're gonna ask me about my ex-husband, no, he was just a foul human being. So no, but like, I would hope that as I move forward and I pick like people to be with, that I would pick it more integrity based and that they wouldn't be that way. And because if someone's going to cheat or do something like bad, they're going to do it. There's nothing I can do to prevent it, whether or not they went to the club or not. If they're going to go to a club, it's because I trust you. I trust you and you're going to make the right choice. But if you go to the club and you don't make the right choice, goodbye. Like, I'm not going to live my life scared that you're not going to do the right thing. I'm not going to live my life that way. I'm not. And if you do the wrong thing, goodbye. Goodbye.
I mean, sometimes when your boyfriend, whoever you're with, has a lot of drinks, sometimes you have to take their keys from them, though. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. If you allow them in the situation, bad things can happen.
True.
Especially if there's alcohol involved.
True.
It doesn't mean they weren't capable of making a good decision, but like, a perfect storm comes along. I mean, if you're letting him go to the club, have a lot of drinks, and he's allowed to talk to women, somebody's going to get swooned.
See, that's just different for me because I wouldn't put myself in that situation. If I'm in a relationship and I'm going out to the club, I'm not going to drink myself into oblivion to where it's going to impair my judgment.
You just said if he wanted to go be a wingman.
Yeah, go. And
but that's what all that entails, though.
Go live your life. Go do your things. I'm not your mom. I'm not going to control your life. Go do it. But if you make a choice that either takes down your own accountability, your drinking and inhibits your like thinking, processing, whatever, and you kiss somebody or make out with somebody or whatever, that is cheating to me. And if you're like, I'm so sorry, I drank too much, you shouldn't have drank too much. And what did you lose in that? You lost me. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to beg somebody to make the right choices in order to be in a relationship with me. Like, at the end of the day, I, just like you should know, I know the value that I bring in those types of situations. And I know, like, what I bring into my relationship. And if you are going to not value me and put yourself in a situation where you're not making a right choice, that's your fucking fault. That's not my fault. That's your fault. And I am okay with kicking your ass out of my house. Like, I'm okay with that. Period.
I mean, I guess Jenna's not going to a club.
And that's fine. That's totally fine.
Jenna ain't going to a club. I mean, neither am I. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's fine. You guys refuse to put yourself in those situations, and that's totally fine. That's okay. I'm going to live my life, and I know that when I'm gonna go live my life, that I'm going to be respectful and honest. And if for any reason I put myself in a situation where I make a wrong choice, I pay the piper. I pay the consequences for it. Period. I just know me, and I know I wouldn't do that. If I'm in a situation, I'm not gonna go get obliterated drunk. You know where I get drunk? Here in this bedroom, on stream, taking shots. That's the only time I get drunk. When I go out, I'll have one drink, maybe two. I just don't put myself in those situations. Period.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's good. I'm not gonna allow her to put herself in that situation. Yeah, that's why I was saying, even if you drink too much, some people you have to take the keys from them because they probably make bad decisions, especially if you're inebriated.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know.
But this is the same sense, like when you're dating somebody and as you're getting to know them, these are the key things that you should be picking up on. Is it a person that can handle their liquor? Is it a person that makes the right choices? Are they currently talking to somebody else, but they're also talking to me? But oh my God, they're picking me. Thing. Like, no.
But here's the thing though, Trish, like everybody's human, right? So mistakes are real. Temptation is real. If it wasn't real, it wouldn't be all over the place. So let's say your boyfriend's perfect. He's got all the right answers. Well, he never fucked up until he does.
Then he does.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like,
no, then he does. And then it's my choice of whether or not it's something that I didn't
marry Jesus. Like, he's going to make a mistake. So, like, he's not perfect. So,
but like, look at you. You say all the time. You say that you would never cheat on your wife and that you're loyal to your wife.
Because I'm not putting myself there.
Correct.
And who the fuck knows what could happen if I put myself in that situation? Nothing good happens after midnight. So what the fuck do I need to be over there for? Like, if I'm being a wingman and we're all having a good time, like man, drinking and all that stuff, like I've seen women do crazy shit.
Correct.
Like, I'm in Vegas, I swear to God, in Vegas, and literally just walks up to me in a bar because we're over there doing the wingman thing. I'm trying to hook my boy up. Mm-hmm. Random girl comes in because I guess she was ear hustling the whole time and just offered it.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally but if you put yourself in these situations, you're more at risk to doing something wrong. So yes, I would not cheat. You're absolutely right. But I'm also not putting myself in those situations though.
Yeah. So you had asked me a scenario in which if I would be okay with it. When's the last time I've been to a club? I haven't been to a club in 8 years. Do I see myself going to a club anytime soon? Absolutely fucking not. You know what I like to do? I like to go to nice restaurants and enjoy dinner with friends, have a good drink, and then I like to go home. Like, I don't go to the club. You just asked me a hypothetical thing. So I answered it. But no, I don't go into those things because that's not my life now. That's not my lifestyle. And right. I've grown up. You know what I mean? But,
right. I'm not talking about you. I asked you about your man going to a club.
Yeah, and
you said you'd let him.
I just don't want to control my significant other's life. I hope that I meet somebody that would make those choices for themselves and like value us. But if he's saying, I'm gonna go. Let's just say something that does happen here a lot. We have a ton of breweries here, so going to a brewery, a bar is like a big thing. We don't have like a lot of clubs where I live. So when someone says, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the brewery," that's like a real scenario, and it is kind of like a nightclub. It's outdoors. They have cornhole. There's a bunch of people there. There's loud music. All of it. Go to it. Have a good time. I don't want to have to stress, oh my God, is he making the right choice? Is he talking to any women? He didn't invite me, but he's going with his friends. So-and-so's girlfriend's going. Why didn't he ask me to go? I don't want to live my life like that at all. So if you're going to go do those things and you're going to make bad choices, then you're going to make bad choices. And I have to decide if it's something that I want to live with or if I want to move past it. Because you are right. You're not dating Jesus. People make mistakes, and you have to learn to what you're willing to deal with and live with and what you're not. And to me, cheating is a hard knot. And if you're going to cheat because you put yourself in a situation after I trusted you and you do it, you're just not the one for me.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but again, I'm not saying don't let your guy, if you're with somebody and he's wanting to go to the club, I'm not, and then again, no offense to anybody in here. If they're okay with going to the club after when you're in a relationship and all that stuff, which a club is only for one thing. It's only for meeting people. It's not for nothing else. If you just want to have a drink, you can go to a fucking casual bar right down the street. Yeah. It's for meeting people. So therefore, married people and people that are couples don't have any business in there, even if it's for being a wingman. If you're with a guy that is asking you to go, then that right there, I don't know. I wouldn't trust it very far. I'm not gonna.
You just said something too that I think is very different. So I'm like single, house is married. So when he says things, he approaches them from a married man standpoint. And so it makes sense when you say, I don't want my wife going to a club. And I'm not going to a club as her husband. But to me, I feel like when you're dating somebody, it's very different when you like telling somebody what to do. You can voice what you want from them, but what loyalty or whatever do they it's not like we're married, you know what I mean? I would hope that my boyfriend would be honorable and lead with integrity, but he's just my boyfriend. We're not married, so he can technically do whatever he wants, because some people think that that's not as important as marriage. Now, you can set boundaries, like somebody said in the chat, setting boundaries, and we are going to do an episode on what boundaries are and setting those, so we'll hit on that later. But you can set those boundaries, and if the person is not willing to abide by those boundaries, then you decide if that person is free, is for you or not. But it's very different when we're answering, because I'm answering from a woman's perspective of dating, and you're answering from a man's perspective of being married.
Yeah. That's it on that, I guess.
Yeah, that is on that. Good episode. I liked what we talked about. We had a lot of good things.
No, I mean, yeah. I agree with you on the dating part too. So I think, but again, dating isn't, my definition of dating is not exclusive.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not exclusive to you, where my definition of dating is exclusivity. As soon as I'm dating you and we decide we're in a relationship, all of those other people that I was talking to are entertaining, gone. Someone DMs me, I'm sending you screenshots. Hey, this person just DM'd me. Because to me, it is exclusivity, because I want to grow something with you with the potential of us spending our lives together. You don't view it that way.
And if you or any woman's man in this chat says, "Hey, let me go to the club and be my boy's wingman," that's a red flag.
Red flag.
The wingman is the most desirable person in that fucking man group. That's why he's the wingman.
Here we go.
Do not fucking do it. I'm just telling you. He's the one that he's the most, that's why he's the wingman. He's the one that's supposed to be bringing the flock to the wolves.
Got it. Don't date the wingman.
Don't.
Thanks for joining in. I appreciate you being here. We'll see you guys next Friday live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to talk about boundaries, setting boundaries, all that good stuff.
answer this last question?
Okay.
It's right there. Well, Fluffy's trying to ask it.
Can you to answer one question for me, please? Can you answer? Yeah, go ahead and throw it out there. Let's see your question. 1 second, TikTok. We're going to answer this question here.
We get that home for
Team House. Get out of here in too deep. You see that?
We need to do like, we need to talk about that though. Like even the wingman stuff or like the wing woman.
Yeah.
Or like, just like talking to, approaching, whatever.
Yeah.
How to do that stuff.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about boundaries because I think I have actually gotten a couple DMs about boundaries, like setting them and abiding by them and all that stuff. Team Pretty Boy is what I just saw in the chat. Oh my God.
Team Pretty Boy.
I would never.
Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
Did you just say that? Did you really just say that?
That's what everyone used to say. That's what they all used to say. Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
Creamsy says, "I'm a wingman by trait." Still waiting for this.
He's dangerous, and I can see like Krim would do really good with like me and my boys. Like I would take Krim as a wingman, absolutely. You know why? Because he's very charismatic. He's funny as fuck.
He's attractive.
And he's the one that you put out in front of the ladies. He's gonna bring the flock to you. Yeah. I can see that 100%. But there's a lot of people in here who don't know what we're talking about though. See, like that, I think that topic would be interesting.
Okay, so here's the question that we're answering. Okay, so my ex cheated on me constantly. I was the only one working, and I provided food. I cared for him, spoiled him, tried new things in intercourse I was too scared to do, and he still cheated. Can you explain how could they, after everything I have done, good, spoiled, cooked, cleaned, provided money, and by the way, he also didn't work, and I did it all, and he cheated.
What was his love language?
I knew you were going to say that.
I bet you're going to get it wrong. No offense, Fluffy, but no, I'm being dead ass. His love language isn't cleaning and fucking cooking. It's a very important topic, and we've talked about it many times. So what is his love language? Let's see if you can answer that first.
Yeah, intimacy. Sex was what it was. She did say she gave him sex, but
like y'all's definition of what you guys think you're giving us and what we actually want are two different things though. I mean, let's be honest about that.
We have a comment that says she gave him wifey stuff when he wasn't giving her squat.
She gave him, but wifey stuff, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. So like you can't expect reward for things that they didn't ask for. Right. So if he's expressed to you what he wants from you in this relationship, and this is what I want, and you're not doing that, then that is your problem. You can't say, hey, I bought my wife gifts every day when she doesn't give a fuck about gifts, or I clean the dishes every day, or I take care of the kids. I mop the floors every day, keep the house very clean. But acts of service is not even on her radar. It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
She said he only ever wanted to have sex. I nurtured him like he wanted. He wanted me to care for him and actually listen to him and be there for him. So I tried, and he still cheated. So, I'll let you answer that one. Go ahead.
Well, like it's two things. So again, none of the answers you're going to like, Fluffy, and I'm not being disrespectful. You want an honest answer from a guy's perspective or from people that's been married, divorced, whatever, and I'm just going to give it to you, okay? And it doesn't matter because you guys aren't together anyways, or he keeps hoping you're not together, but he cheated on you anyways.
Yeah.
So one of two things happen. Either he's got a problem with sex because that's all he wanted from you, and he could be addicted. That's a very small percentage, but that's very possible. Or he's just a scumbag, which is, again, very possible. Or he wasn't that into you, right? So it doesn't matter what you would have done for him. If he doesn't like you enough, then you're just there, okay? You're not going to like that answer. But if he was happy, completely happy with you, completely happy with his situation, completely happy with his love language, then that man's not going to cheat.
She also said that there was some physical assault and it caused her to have a miscarriage. So Fluffy, one, I'm very happy to hear that you're out of that.
That you're not together. Yeah.
I think a lot of people stick in like the past relationships and refuse to move on because they're playing the what ifs in their minds. Like, what if I did this thing differently? Or honestly, because in our mind, we are putting the person that we're dating, we're making them into this other person. So we play them up in our minds like they're a good person. So in your mind, you're saying you're having a hard time getting over it because you did all these things. I think in your mind, everything that you just described sounds like this person wasn't a good person. But in your mind, you made him a good person. You made him somebody to be with. Where I think that if you stepped out of it and really looked at it from afar, you would see that that's probably a person that you would have never wanted to entertain. Somebody who wasn't bettering themselves, somebody who was cheating, somebody who was abusive. These are all characteristics of somebody that you don't want to be in a relationship with. So when you look at this and you're healing from it, be happy that you're out of that situation and make those conscious decisions to never, ever date somebody like that again. I'm not saying you can't date somebody who's not working or in between jobs, but date someone who's goal oriented and like, I'm going to school and I'm working towards this career. Or, I just got laid off, but I've put in 20 applications. I'll have a job by next week. Like you can motivate those people to be better, but definitely don't take on the responsibility of taking care of somebody else. Like, especially if you're not in a relationship yet. And it sounds like you started that way initially. And I'm sorry, like, men are going to go where they feel loved and comforted, but it doesn't mean that they're going to give you that in return, period.
Yeah. So it sounds like that he was the option number 2, which he's a scumbag. So like it doesn't, for those ones, it's never anything that you did or anything that you can do.
Correct.
It's not a match for you. And just like Trish said, if you were describing these things about your best friend's man, would you want her to be with him? Probably not. So it's the same thing for you. So I think you're better off. Don't even fucking worry about it. It's a problem with him, not you. Go to the next one. There's a lot of them out there. Trust me.
Thank you. This means a lot. I honestly released a big boulder off my chest. I'm glad to hear that, Fluffy. I'm really glad to hear that. And if you have DMs like this or questions like this and you want House and I to discuss them, completely anonymous, Fluffy just put it in the chat, so that's why we were calling her by name. But if you would like us to discuss things, go ahead and send myself or House a DM, and we will talk about them on the next podcast.
All right.
All right.
See you guys later.
Good one. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Bye.